In this video, I'm going to show you our system for building professional quality shaker style doors. This tutorial is for a traditional 5-piece door with a frame and a panel. We'll be showing you how to professionally cut the router grooves and the tenon joints on the end and put together a beautiful door. The scariest part about making doors for me has always been the cut list, because the cuts, there's some math involved, because you've got your rail on the top and bottom is going to be shorter than your stiles, but then you got to add in the tongue depth, right? So there is some variables. So what I did is I spent some time and created a spreadsheet that kind of automates all of the math so that you're not going to make a mistake. And the spreadsheet can do up to 20 doors at a time. So if you have a lot of doors, you can just do it all at once, print it all out. You've got a cut list, and it's even got like a materials list, so you can go estimate how much hardwood that you're going to need before you get into the shop and start building it. It's free to download. There's no gimmicks. Just grab it, download it, use it. It's going to help you and save you a ton of time and hopefully save you a ton of mistakes. To build these doors, you'll need a chop saw or miter saw to make accurate cross cuts. You'll need a table saw to rip your material in half, and you'll need a router and a router table and router bits for making the tongue and groove cuts. I've linked the router bits I'm using in my blog post, which you can find in the description below. So what we do is we just cut 1x6s in a hardwood material in the size of the rails and stiles that are computed through the spreadsheet. And later on, these are going to be ripped down in half. The reason that we do it as a wider width board when we go through the router is it's much easier to push a larger board through a router than a smaller one. So we're going to router it all first, and then we'll cut it with a table saw. And then these are the panels that we're going to use in the center. We're using MDF panels because it helps the door be more stable over time. This is our router setup, and we just have a router underneath, and it's got the tenon cutter part of the router bit set in there. And we've got it adjusted, and we're going to run all of our tenons first and get all those cut. Okay, so these are all of the tenons cut on all of the rails. So we did the rails first, and this will make 2. We're going to cut this in half when we rip it, and we write on the top the length of the pieces, so we always know where the handwriting is with the pencil, that's the top of the board. So those are all done. So we're going to move into cutting the slot out of both the rails and the stiles. So once we got all of the tenons cut, so I'm calling these the tenons, on the ends of all the rails, we're going to remove the router and change the bit to the slot cutter for the grooves. So this way, if you cut all of the tenons first, you only have to change the router bit once. And then these bits actually are adjustable, so you can basically add spacers in between the 2 bits to, change the width of your slot cut for different panel sizes. And then we're not going to adjust the fence. The fence is fixed, and then just put the router back in position. So we have this test piece of wood that we've cut the tongue on it, or the tenon. And what we're going to do is we've got the slot cut, so it's going to cut the opposite cut, and we're going to match it to that test piece. We're going to do some testing to adjust it just right. The goal here is to get the height right for this router bit, since we changed it out, so they're exact matches. Okay, so we did the test and you can see there's a little bit of material left on the bottom. That means our router bit is just a touch high. So we're gonna adjust that router bit down a little bit. Okay, so when the router bit is perfectly set, there will be no material left. It'll take the entire tongue off. So it's pretty easy to adjust. Now we can move forward with cutting all the slots in both the rails and the stiles. Okay, so these are all of the boards with the routering completed. So what we're gonna do now is table saw these in half to make all the pieces. So we set our table saw to 2 5/8 inch. This is gonna determine how thick the frame is around the panel on these doors. Go ahead and put one door together real quick. So this is the MDF panel we're using in the center. Cut that out with a table saw. And these are the rails, the top and the bottom of the drawer. And then these are the stiles. See, having the measurements penciled in on the front just makes life so much easier, and it helps us keep everything organized and the right side facing upward. And then we'll go ahead and glue these up and sand them when we're done. There it is. Good looking door. Go this way. That looks good, honey. Very professional. Okay, thanks for watching how we build our shaker style doors. If you have any feedback, please leave that in the comments. Don't forget the spreadsheet is available for free download. Use it, it will help you so much. Thanks again, we'll see you next week.